Hello, everybody. Wolfang here. Happy Friday. Friday, December the 20th. And it's currently I don't know, 34 degrees in Cincinnati, Ohio. Uh, Overcast. We had a wintry mix today, snow and rain. At least it wasn't raining cats and dogs. So, how is everybody's Friday going? Groovy, I hope. Same old crap here. Nothing different. Nothing changes. Not that I really want it to, but I had a good day at work. What else? That's about it. Oh, I ask a question. Christmas dinner. Do you do a traditional or do you mix it up? What do you have for a Christmas dinner? This year we're doing tamales. Or enchiladas. Tamales. Tamales are good though too. Enchiladas. Making myself hungry talking about it. Yeah, I heard making tamales is you got to know what you're doing. I've never tried it. I love them. I would like to learn how to make the traditional though. So, because there was one guy that used to work with us that knew a guy that had a cousin. No, I'm just kidding. No, but he was a co-worker. He quit years ago, but his wife used to make them. And I asked him, I said, "Oh, I'll buy the stuff if your wife would make them." And he turned me down. He's like, "No," she said, "they're too hard to make." And I was like, "All right." But traditional tamales, yeah, and the corn husk, that's tasty stuff. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Today's topic is going to be about the Christmas tree and the origins of the Christmas tree. How did it all came about? Some myths, folklore, I guess you could call it. So let's get to it because I think it's about a 6 minute read, so I can put you guys to sleep. I'll read you a bedtime story. uh, that's a nice looking tree. That's a nice boulder. Many people who celebrate Christmas have already decorated their own evergreens this year, but shortages of Christmas trees and price hikes have also become somewhat of a holiday tradition. Here's a look at how Christmas trees, both real and artificial, became such a popular holiday tradition in the first place. The origins of a Christmas tree. Records of using greenery to celebrate the holidays predate widespread use of the phrase Christmas tree. Rural English church records from the 15th and 16th centuries indicate that the holly and ivy were bought in the winter. Hence the British carol, The Holly and the Ivy. Oh, yeah, I was just singing that song yesterday. Private houses and streets were also decorated with greenery at this time, according to Judith Flanders' Christmas biography. Flanders poised that a precursor to the Christmas tree can be seen in the pole that parishes would decorate with holly and ivy like a winter maypole. One account describes a storm in London that knocked over a pole that's described as the disport of Christmas to the people. Okay. England. People are weird over there. No. A lot of myths surround the origins of Christmas trees. One legend says that Martin Luther, who catalyzed the Protestants' Reformation, believed that pine trees represented the goodness of God. Another myth, popular in the 15th century, tells the story of Saint Boniface, who in 8th century thwarted a pagan human sacrifice under an oak tree by cutting down that tree. A fir tree grew in its place, with its branches representing Christ's eternal truth. Some versions of this Saint Boniface legend say he cut down the new fir tree and hung it upside down, which is believed to have led to the tradition of the trees being hung upside down to represent the Holy Trinity. Now, that I've never heard. Hanging your tree upside down. Okay. Wow. Sometimes with an apple wedged at the point instead of a star. Okay. All of these stories may have helped the Christmas tradition spread. That's it. Hung it upside down. But the real origins of a Christmas tree appear to be rooted in present day Germany during the Middle Ages. In 1419, a guild in Freiburg put up a tree decorated with apples, flour paste wafers, tinsel, and gingerbread, and paradise plays that were performed to celebrate the feast day of Adam and Eve, which fell on Christmas Eve. A tree of knowledge was represented by an evergreen fir with apples tied to its branches. Flanders finds documentations of trees decorated with wool thread, straw, apples, nuts, and pretzels. All the good stuff that little critters want to eat outside. The oldest Christmas tree market is thought to have been located just over the southwestern German border in Strasbourg in Alex, which was back then part of the Rhineland, now in present day France. Okay. They were adorned Christmas trees were sold during the 17th century as Wischenbackenbaum. I don't know. I can't answer a German word. German for Christmas tree. Okay. If you know German and know how to say Christmas tree, there's the word. Flanders says the first decorated indoor tree was recorded in 1605 in Strasbourg, decorated with roses, apples, wafers, and other sweets, according to her research. Demand for Christmas trees was so high in the 15th century that laws were passed in Strasbourg cracking down on people cutting pine branches. Ordinance throughout the region of Elisk limited each household to one tree in the 1530s. Wow. How Christmas trees got popular in the USA. References to Christmas trees in private homes or establishments in North America date back to the 18th century and earlier 19th century. Flanders mentions a reference to a pine tree in North Carolina in 1786. In 1805, a school for American Indians run by Morvane ministry sent students to fetch a small green tree for Christmas. Similar examples pop up in the first half of the 19th century in the Midwest and further west, such as the German immigrants in Texas who decorated trees with moss, cotton, pecans, red pepper swags, and popcorn. Where popcorn comes from. But the image of a decorated Christmas tree with presents underneath has a very specific origin. An engraving of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert and their children gathering around a Christmas tree, eyeing the presents underneath, published in an illustrated London News in 1848. the premier women's magazine in America back then. Godey's Ladies Book reprinted a version of the image a couple of years later as the Christmas tree. Oh, that's interesting. See, I'm learning this stuff as I read it. Like I said, maybe sometimes I should read this stuff first, but I don't know. The single image cemented the Christmas tree in the popular consciousness so much that by 1861, the year of Albert's death, it was firmly believed that this German prince had transplanted the custom to England with him when he married Rice Flanders. The tradition of a gigantic Christmas tree in public spaces seems to be an American one that dates back to the 19th century. The electricity lobby pushed for the first national Christmas tree at the White House as publicity stunt. Spit it out, Carl. For the glories of electricity. A nearly 60-foot tall balsam fir tree covered in 2,500 light bulbs. A 20-foot tall Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center first went up in 1931 when the building was still under construction. By putting so many people unemployed during the Great Depression back to work, the tree became a symbol of hope. The changing Christmas tree. In December 1964, Time magazine heralded a new Christmas trend: fake trees. The polyvinyl versions look more realistic than ever before, and they made up to 35% of the 155 million Christmas tree business in the U.S., according to an article headlined "A Profit in a Polyvinyl Tree." 50 years later, artificial trees still dominate the Christmas tree industry. Of the roughly 95 million American households with Christmas trees in 2018, 82% of the trees were artificial and 18% were real. That's kind of sad. According to a Nielsen survey, the reason for this ratio are many. Climate change, really, has made trees more difficult to grow. Farmers planted fewer trees during the Great Recession, and in general, trees take 7 to 10 years to grow. And there are even shortages of the farmers who grow them as they age out of the business. Artificial trees are also hailed as having a lower environmental impact than buying trees when they're transporting them to retail outlets is factored in. But the National Christmas Tree Association is appealing to those same environmental conscious consumers by arguing that real trees support local economies. They are grown in the U.S. and in Canada, while many plastic trees are manufactured in China, and that real trees are renewable resources and recyclable, while the artificial kinds could take some non-biodegradable parts. So there you go. I will say this: I've had both real Christmas trees and artificial, and especially today, I mean, you're going to put some money out even for an artificial tree, but they do look good if you dress them up right. Now, the real tree is fun if you take care of it and you keep cats out of it or dogs from chewing on it. But I mean, they smell great. To have a real tree sitting in your house. When I was a kid, I think maybe 2 times we had a real tree that I can remember. Now, my wife and I, we did it, I think, maybe a couple of times. when her boy was young. But yeah, I like the real tree. So you leave your comments and let me know, fake tree or real tree, or you don't give a frick tree. Anyway, this is Wolf Fang. I've been babbling too long. Have a great Friday, great weekend. Blessed be, stay safe, and I'll bullshit with y'all later. Bye.